Hey, what up, YouTube? This is Skrill Dad. That's the name of the channel. Hey, subscribe on all the platforms. As you see, we're gonna get right to it. This reaction video. Let's get doing another reaction. The Penguin situation is crazy by Jemari. Jemari is a great content creator. Gives us all the news on all the YouTube guys. So yeah, let's see what he has to say about this guy.
Last year, we had some major drama between Moistcritical, aka Charlie, and streamer Sneako, as Sneako was in his Red Pill era and posting relentlessly about Charlie, as well as a couple of other YouTubers and streamers he had made this infamous collage of.
Best commentary award is a dude who doesn't believe in anything, who games for 13 hours straight so guys, I farted in a diarrhea and this happened.
Hey.
I'm not gonna say names. Someone texted me. He's in a monogamous relationship. This is his girl.
He posted about Charlie to the point where he eventually had to reply with this tweet: "You pathetic, sensitive, soy little worm. I made fun of you for watching your girlfriend get f***ed by numerous other men, and also insulted you for defending."
And by the way, yes, I do stream on Twitch, but yeah, my sub count is at 0. So follow me on Twitch. I'm on Twitch too. So yeah, when we play games, we'll do stuff like this, react. News, new gaming news, gaming pop culture news, all that. Right.
That's not cancellation, that's just spitting on you for being a pitiful sad. Out of this, we would then get the clip of Sneaky dancing around, brandishing a pistol in his hands, threatening Charlie, saying that he could get these clips.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips.
This, of course, would give us the most glorious moment in the beef, the Max comments.
But he's
that
a
cartoon was funny
imbecile. You absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips. The same way that this is also a mag.
And then we would later get this debate. Overall, in the eyes of most, Charlie would decimate Sneako here and make him look very immature. And I would say the majority of viewers thought at this point that he had won the war. Well, Sneako has again been trashing Charlie like no other, especially over the recent situation with Mr. Beast and his creeper Chris. Sneako's stance was that Charlie is a coward for not immediately speaking up about this situation, saying that he is a hypocrite for talking about Dr. Disrespect, but not discussing Chris.
Yo, look out, Moistcritical is not going to go talk about the Chris situation because he wants to have the Mr. Beast collab.
Well, Charlie would respond to this on Twitter and even spend several minutes in his video about the Chris situation.
That's crazy. I mean, Jesus, man. You gotta call these people out, man. When they're doing evil shit like that, messing with underage people, manipulating people, you gotta call them out. You can't be scared of doing that either, man. Like, don't let that go on to her, man.
Addressing Sneako's claim that he was ducking this topic.
I was always going to make a full breakdown of this because it's bad. It's a horrible situation.
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. I do talk about like big trending bad shit like Dr. Disrespect or like Cody Ko most recently. I don't know why people thought I wouldn't talk about this. So I've never been someone to shy away from a bad situation like this just because I know or am familiar with the person that it's about. He has no problem abandoning his morals and defending blatant brushing it under the rug as long as it means it keeps the Mr. Beast collab alive. For you to make insinuations like that and even claims...
Well, where's the video, Penguins? Where's the video? And you probably did make a video. I'm not sure. But I'll go check. But where's the video, man? Come on.
Like that is f***ing unhinged.
Jemari be up on his shit. So I know you probably didn't make a video yet.
Considering you make actual defense arguments constantly.
Well, once again, after this back and forth,
and Sneako, yeah, he's right. You're disgusting too, bro.
Two would have another debate, and this time people were a lot more conflicted about who actually won, as both of them made some very strange comments throughout this conversation. Now, just to be completely transparent with you guys, the full debate here was around 90 minutes long, and no, I did not watch the entire thing. I just feel like at this point my brain is already rotted enough and I didn't want to put it through that type of stress. But if these two comments that these guys made are any indication of how this debate went overall, yeah, I just don't think my brain could have taken it. So first, let's talk about what Sneako had to say. As you guys know, he's been riding the anti-age of consent wave for quite some time now.
It's just because we have a different idea of what it means to be a child, which can be tracked historically. The general principle in Islam is You know, you can do what you kind of want, so long as I'm not gonna say you can do what you want, so long as you harm it. You can do, you can marry whoever you want to marry.
What the fuck is he doing?
So long as it doesn't cause them harm, physical and psychological.
Like when people look at you and you talking to them, they look at you like that, man. That shit right there, man, just make you want to smack a nigga. He ain't paying attention to anything that man's saying.
And once again, it's very relative.
And so Charlie kind of questioned him about his beliefs here, asking him if a 21-year-old should be able to marry a 15-year-old. And you'll never believe what he has to say.
I'm talking about your personal beliefs. Do you think someone in their 20s should be able to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
So should someone who's about to graduate college be able to marry someone who's just entering high school? Like last year, they were running around on that middle school playground.
I personally wouldn't do it. I don't know many people who would do it. The maturity for people and the teenagers in the West is getting much worse, but there are...
We're talking globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for... I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore. Anyone. Do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
PNY's excited
Probably having this chat, it was crazy.
To introduce the industrial-grade edge AI platform, the NVIDIA IGX Orin.
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved? Why should we get the government involved?
Well, at that point, that's almost like arguing, well, why should we have any laws at all? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of the government overreaching into people's personal lives and their personal decisions. But as a society, we have to have some sort of structure of what's right and wrong. And I would think that most people with a rational brain can understand why a 15-year-old is not mentally equipped to handle the decision of getting married to someone in their 20s.
Why would I tell them if everybody's consenting, if everybody's okay with it, if the parents are okay with it, if nobody's being harmed, if it's going to be okay, if they're both abiding by the rules and they're not hurting each other, why not?
Man?
Because, like I said, the 15-year-olds just...
Because the age is an age, motherfucker. Just follow the damn law. Like, God damn. These people are sick, man. Some people, like... I can't see how somebody can say that and then not be attracted to a young, like a minor. Like, him saying that makes me think that he's attracted to minors. Like, he'll look at a 15-year-old like, God damn. That's gross, man. Like, you come on, man.
Just does not have the mental capacity to truly understand what they're doing, and so really they cannot consent to the marriage. And I believe that is kind of Charlie's point that he tries to make against Sneako here, which I think is the right line of thinking. The only problem is...
We live in America, that's the only problem. You can't do that shit over here and stop acting like that shit is normal over here, because it's not. Shit is weird for you to even be fighting over shit like that, man. All y'all got older women, like y'all with women that are y'all age, and y'all trying to defend this shit. This shit is gross, man. And I got 2 kids of my own. I got a daughter and I got a son. And this is crazy, man. Because a lot of these people who mess with children are being exposed to secure, man. It's crazy.
Sneako uses the classic debate tactic of using Charlie's own logic against him when Charlie would try to make an even possibly more mind-boggling point about a child's ability to choose to transition. But we'll get back to that in a second. I did first want to talk about some of the other comments.
Even that, my thing with the transition thing, man, they got to be adults, man. You live under my roof, you ain't no choice in that. Like no, when you're able to pay for your own, living quarters, and you able to, get a job, and you out of school, you able to make those type of decisions, and that's fine with me. I don't, care. And being a dad, I would not mind, but no, ain't no child of mine's transitioning at the age of 13, or in between, 13 to 17. That's crazy, man. Or even younger than that, because some parents be doing that. That's crazy.
Comments that Sneako has made regarding the age of consent.
Like, why does that define the age of consent? I had a debate about this, and I said the age of consent is maturity, is the age of puberty, once the body is mature. Because Bro, I know some people, I went through puberty when I was like 17.
Saying that the age of consent should be when somebody goes through puberty is just insane. Like, I don't know if these type of comments come from a creepy place, or it's just an effect of constantly having to play the devil's advocate over and over again, while also trying to...
That's exactly what it is. He doesn't understand. And I'm not going to say everybody else, don't understand, because they don't have... When you have a child, you understand what the fuck it is. Like little girls, they're going to mature faster than boys. And he's talking about puberty, this, that, and the third. Like, does that mean like when a little girl has her period, that's puberty? This dude is sick for saying some shit like that. He doesn't understand it because he doesn't have a daughter, or maybe he doesn't have little kids around him, like in his family or anything like that. But nah, that ain't happening. That's exactly what it is. This guy's a grifter, and he's gonna always go against the grain.
To have the most shocking opinion possible.
That's why the age of consent being strictly exactly on this second 18, this defines maturity, and everyone has to pretend like, yes, that defines maturity. This is the correct age, not 1 second more, not 1 second less, and if anything contradicts it,
so what you're saying is correct.
Disgusting.
You are disgusting.
I mean, to me, it's just such a weird hill to choose to die on over and over again. I mean, disgusting. By his logic, if a girl goes through puberty at the age of 12, which I believe many of them do, well, she's then prepared to marry, some 25-year-old man. She's mentally equipped to do so. I mean, by his very same logic, he should have absolutely no problem with what Chris from Mr. Beast just did. As a matter of fact, in his book, Chris could have went out and married that kid that he was talking to through Discord, and he should really have no problem with it, right? As long as the kid started going through puberty.
And the Moistcritical is like, Sneako, you say that the age of consent is, what do you think it is? I don't know. What do you think it is? Tell me. You think it's 18? It's only 18 in something like 10 states. The rest of it's 17, 16. Around the world, it's 16. A lot of places, 14, 15. So what do you think it is? Is everybody in the world... Japan, they just changed it from 13 to 16. Were they before then? What's the consistency?
To me, the blanket age of consent all over the world should probably be 18. Like, at least in this country, that's when you start getting more personal freedoms. That's the age where if you fuck up, the government no longer sees you as a child, and they're gonna punish you as an adult. And at that point, you're really just free to make your own decisions and live with the repercussions of your actions. I don't know, to me, it just does not have to get a lot deeper than that. And here is where Charlie actually falls right into Sneako's trap.
Do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting, as you agree with.
Okay.
Just look at the glee on Sneako's face as he realizes that he fell for his trap card.
Hormone therapy, can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting, as you agree with.
And obviously, guys, what's the point that's about to be made? Sneako's pretty much gonna say, well, Charlie, so a kid cannot consent to marrying an adult, but they can't consent to making a life-altering decision.
But Sneako just talked about how kids, when they're of age, when they come of age, they can make their decisions. This guy's sick, bro. They can go out and well, I guess they could do that. I mean, no adult should be doing that shit to no minor. I don't know, man. This dude's sick, man.
Okay, so as long as everyone...
If your parents are okay with it and you are okay with it, I think that's totally a familial decision to make, yeah.
Okay.
So they're literally making the exact same stupid arguments about two different, very, I guess, controversial topics.
So, a child can cut their off and take hormone blockers and change their biology forever, but they can't get married?
Oh, that's a decision that now extends beyond the family, because now you're bringing in a different party. So if you have someone that's your age coming in saying, I want to marry that child, I don't think that can happen under any circumstance.
Yeah, but neither thing should happen under any circumstance. Yeah. I mean, listen, guys, I'm all for transitioning once you are an adult, using your own money, okay? I don't think taxpayers should pay for that type of surgery. But if you want to go and do whatever you want to your own body, well, I'm really all for it. Because at the end of the day, I am for adults having their own personal freedoms. But should a child be able to make that type of life-altering decision? Absolutely not. Should their parents be able to make that type of life-altering decision for their kid? To me, no. Like, if I take a baby to a tattoo parlor and say, hey, I consent, put a tattoo right across their forehead that says idiot, there's a reason that nobody is going to allow you to do that.
Okay, if I'm 16 and I personally want to marry this girl, She's beautiful. She's 21 years old. Her family wants to do it. My family wants to do it.
She shouldn't
You're
be allowed
saying
to.
I can't do that.
No,
We're
you
both
can't.
consenting. I'm ready to go. I'm physically mature, but I'm not allowed to marry because Moist says that woman's a. But if then the next day I leave it, I'm depressed. I want to cut my penis off. I can go right into the clinic, snip it off, and start taking HRT like Chris Tyson. That's a society that makes sense to you?
It is. I believe everyone has complete. Yep, I believe everyone has the right to do with their body what they want to do.
Okay.
The extreme
It's just so
right.
bad. I
Arguing
gotta
with
say,
one
this
another.
is the biggest L I've probably ever seen Charlie take, and he kind of just walked right into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, once someone starts using your own logic against you, the debate is pretty much over. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, you know what my point of view is? That neither of those things are okay.
There was nothing
The other
he
thing
could
I
do
did
about
want
it,
to
though,
say
man.
is
He's
I do
always stood
believe
on
that
that
it's
stance,
actually
I
a lot
guess.
easier for someone to
could just tell
transition
that
if
he
they want to
has.
do that, if they wait until they're an adult. I believe if you start taking the hormone blockers too
nothing
young
wrong with
and your
standing on that
reproductive
stance.
organs
I mean,
don't have the right time to develop, there will
not
usually
my
be a lot
kids,
of
I don't think
complications
they
with the
should be able
surgery in
to.
the future. So in theory, it's actually in everyone's best interest, including people who know they want to transition at a very young age, to wait until they are at least
I mean, the
18.
public says
Either
there's
way,
nothing
after
wrong
this,
with it.
Charlie has kind of been getting
Right.
cooked
What
online.
Charlie said-
Sneako has pretty much been begging.
What Charlie said, the public doesn't think there's nothing wrong. But what Sneako is saying is public clearly says there's something wrong with it, right? Which one is right? Which one isn't right? You know? And honestly, we should just go by the laws. You know? What Charlie said is not against the law. What Sneako said is. Especially, you know, over here in America where we all live. I mean, look. That's how you did an argument.
Him to release this debate on his channel, so I am
I don't think
curious
it's
to
right.
see what he
Either
will do
or. I
from
don't
here,
think
because
either one of their
like as
stances are
someone
right.
who puts his opinion out there
I don't.
online for a living, this was kind of a take that a lot of people seem to disagree with. So I had actually recorded that video yesterday, and as I was editing it right now, we actually did get some
This is
updates on
raw
the
reaction too, by the
situation
way.
that include Charlie apparently walking
You
his
know, I'm just
comments
throwing it
back
off
and
the
him
mind.
also potentially leaving the internet
Emotion.
altogether.
Nah,
And now I give a perspective on something that immediately gets misconstrued. And I do recognize a lot of it's my fault. I assumed that Sneako was talking in hyperbole about a 9-year-old getting their cut off, because I didn't have the assumption that anyone thought that is how transitioning works. Under no circumstances, any legality behind a kid saying, I want to change genders, and then immediately going in and getting their cut off. That doesn't happen. I thought he was just talking in hyperbole.
I mean, I think he was kind of just trying to discuss the idea of a child transitioning in general and if that's okay.
I thought he was talking about the overall point of a child transitioning, which is years long process. And you can't even get that fucking surgery legally until you're 18.
Man,
Yeah, but you can definitely start transitioning and taking these various hormones
Which they
before you
shouldn't-
turn
I don't-
18 years
I don't
old,
think they should
especially
be
in
able
some
to do that.
states.
And I guess I should have assumed that he was being literal, and that's on me. But yeah, there's no winning on anything. Sneako gets away with saying
I don't think you
12 to
should mutilate your
15-year-olds
body
can
at
marry
all.
adults. I don't think his chat looks
I think
anything
doing
like
that
the
to yourself
YouTube
is
chat
like
here. He literally, multiple times,
mutilation.
reaffirms that he believes 12 to 15-year-olds can legally, morally, and should marry adults. And there is no problems for him. But I said that I think it's
No, I
okay
take that
for a
back.
child
I'm not gonna say
to
it's
transition,
mutilation.
to learn about it. It's a process. You don't just go in and immediately get your cut off. That's not how it works.
I mean, I
don't
wouldn't
know.
say that he's even necessarily walking
even wanna
anything back
react.
there.
I just-
I also think that the argument he makes about
Whatever.
like, oh, everyone's acting like what Sneako said is okay is just kind of minute. Like, it's not really relevant, because I have seen Sneako obviously catching a lot of
Nah, that's
backlash
just-
over this
it's
age of
mutilation. It's
consent thing for
mutilation.
quite some time. And it's pretty obvious
you're
at this point that
literally
he's kind of cultivated the type of
taking a
audience
part
that's
of
going to
your
ride
body
with
off.
whatever the he thinks. So I'm not surprised that they're not like giving him
What
backlash
God
over
gave
those
you, like-
comments.
like-
That's what he has been preaching for.
Like, I don't know, man. We're not rolling dice, man. This is what God made us. God made you a man. You're a man. If God made you a woman, you're a woman. You know, you can think what you want to think. That's not what God made you on this earth. Whatever you were coming out of that woman that you came out of, because everybody comes out of a woman. Whatever you were coming out of that woman, that's what you are. Now, you can change that, yes. And I think if you do the surgeries, you've changed that. But I also do believe that people should know that you've changed that, because you could really mess some people up, man. doing it, like you doing that to somebody, like dating somebody, you know, of another gender, and they were a different gender, like that could mess the person that you're messing with up. You get what I'm saying? I mean, it goes both ways.
For quite a long time. Either way, this news gets a little bit spicier after it was announced earlier today that Charlie is apparently going to be stepping away from his podcast. Show update. Goodbye, Charlie. Hey everyone, effective immediately, Charlie has made the decision to leave both the official podcast and Red Thread. He wants to go on an indefinite hiatus to scale back his time spent on the internet. We obviously wish him the best, for everyone to respect his decision, and for all to know that the show will always be open for him to drop by and talk shop should he wish to return. So yeah, it seems like Charlie might not be in the best place right now. And I do completely understand if he wants to spend less time on the internet. This job in general can be very taxing from a mental standpoint, and I can recognize how hard it can be to step away from something that is so lucrative for you, that it's just become part of your life. But it can also be very toxic when you start talking about more controversial topics. And obviously you read in the comments every day, there's people that disagree with you, there's people that hate you for your opinions, and maybe if he was already feeling kind of burnt out, this might have just been like the straw that broke the camel's back. And despite him dropping what I think is like pretty horrendous take, obviously I wish the best for him, and hopefully he's gonna be doing alright. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this situation down below. It is interesting to see someone who always seems, you know, so composed to be a little bit shaken in this way, especially by a person that a lot of people don't take very seriously. Either way, I do want to thank you guys for dropping a like on today's video and subscribing to the channel. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and some other horrible debates out here need to be covered. So I'm out. Peace.